fans. So after lunch breaks and eating and switching rooms, we're back with another League of Legends match.
We do what we
So
must.
this will be the semifinals for the upper brackets. So right off the bat, again, Zach and Lee's in band.
Draven out.
Ooh,
Draven bad.
I know where this is targeted to. This is targeted to AARQ. Because I played with AARQ a lot, and he's actually a really good Draven player.
Oh.
He actually has solid fundamentals in ADC. So that's a ban targeted to him. And Oriana, like last game, Oriana banned for the shockwave combos.
I'm absolutely
Yeah,
livid.
Vladimir bad.
Vladimir banned. I'm quite surprised by that.
Maybe one of the players, guessing that the fact that these
I recommend
both of the teams
skipping.
are college and they may or may not know each other, they do know what these players play. So
And
they
maybe they had a small scrimmage.
could also, yes.
And Lulu banned because Lulu right now is actually a really good support.
Yeah. She has
Given
the,
her shield, her early poke, and her ult, it's actually really good for an ADC to get. So we're waiting for the first pick. First pick,
Braum.
Braum. Wow, that's new. First pick
That's
support. So they're actually going for a much safer approach, in my opinion, because they rather pick support rather than their carries.
they went with the support that can either go offensive or defensive at the same time. We have a Kled. Is that top lane?
So that's a Kled pick. So
So-
that's gonna go for top.
Kled
So
top
Kled
lane.
pick for Uncrowned. Uncrowned. How to basics.
A
So that's
Hecarim.
Hecarim at the jungle.
Another Twitch pick for the jungle.
And I'm thinking that this is gonna be an ADC Twitch. Since even though Twitch jungle is a thing, we found out good information.
What's fighting right now is Uncrowned
Uncrowned
versus
and-
How to Basic.
Uncrowned and How to Basics, semifinals, upper bracket.
Your answer is question, Panda.
There's a Riven pick for How to Basic. Again, we'll see another Riven like last game.
But the Riven's not going to go with the teleporter, it's going with the exhaust.
Kasi magsiswitch pa sila.
But
And then Annie again.
another Annie.
Another Annie pick. So Annie is really seeing a lot of competitive play right now.
Are we going to see the Yasuo?
I requested Yasuo. So we need to see that. Or we will flame JV.
I do not tolerate.
Another
Darius
Darius
ban,
ban,
again,
obviously.
expected for the top lane. So who's gonna be the last two bans?
Bard.
Bard ban.
For the set maybe of his ult and the fact that he can give good heals early game.
Yeah, and he can keep the jungler healthy too. And actually, since it's a Hecarim, if you get Bard's heal, it has a movement speed buff.
Oh, yeah,
so
it does.
that will actually help a Hecarim
Get-
gank. Yeah. So what will be the last ban for Uncrowned?
Yeah, 5 seconds left.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Gragas.
Gragas ban, targeted in the jungle.
Maybe. What would be the reason why these people are so jungle focused on?
Impure
Because
fools.
I played with Gino a lot. Like I had a couple flex queues with him. He's actually a really versatile jungler. He has a really wide champion pool. He has a really wide champion pool, and his jungle pathing is actually unpredictable. He actually has a good jungle pathing.
Maybe that's why we are.
Jinx for the ADC of Uncrowned. So actually we'll have an immobile Jinx. So they need to have a really good support here.
A Sejuani pick for support. Wait, is that?
And this is gonna be a jungle Sejuani.
Yeah. Lux for the mid lane. No?
No.
Okay, it's a Lux.
Oh, this is new. So two burst heavy immobile mid laners for our semifinals. An Annie against a Lux. So it's actually a matter of who gets the stun first.
And the positioning,
Yeah.
of course.
But we need to keep in mind that Lux actually has a barrier to save herself from the Annie
The Annie
burst.
stuns.
And for the support, we have an Alistar expected to keep the Jinx safe. Because Jinx is actually highly immobile. Unless she gets revved up with kills. Since she gets her
She gets
passive.
that passive movement
Yeah.
speed. Yeah.
So there, as expected. And I actually want to take a look here. The Lux took Exhaust rather than another defensive summoner spell. So, or an offensive summoner spell. So, I don't really, I'm not a mid laner, so I don't really know reasons why mid laners take Exhaust. But from my experience, you usually take Exhaust if you're against an AD mid laner to cancel out their damage. So, I'm really curious as to why Lux took exhaust right here. Maybe the double exhaust
Yeah.
for Jinx and Kled, since Kled has the movement speed buff for his ult. So let's see our matchup. So in the top lane, we'll have a Riven against a Kled. In my opinion, it's quite balanced.
Yeah.
Riven against a Kled. You'll see a couple pokes running around here and there.
Given
But
the fact that Riven has that sort of her E move that gives her that
Yeah.
mobility, and also Kled has the same thing, the one where he slides with.
yeah, she can glow in and out and take her and harass Riven. So in the jungle, we have a Sejuani and Hecarim. And I'd like to point out that Hecarim took Flash rather than Ghost.
Go.
So
Yeah,
that's
agree.
actually really new to me, since all Hecarim jungles I saw are running Ghost. Because you'll want to Ghost when you're about to gank to,
Yeah.
to increase your damage from your charge. So
In the mid lane we have Lux and Annie.
So Annie actually taking two defensive spells, Ghost and Flash. So maybe to reposition herself better. So like what we saw Annie from the last game, the Ghost really saves her every gank.
Yeah.
Since she doesn't need to burn Flash, and Ghost has a faster cooldown.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
And Ghost gives you that certain amount of time for you to run back and run into the team fight, whether it deems fit for you to be able to use it.
Yeah. And for the bot lane matchup, we have
A
Twitch
Twitch,
and Braum against a Jinx and Alistar. So actually, it's gonna be a defensive lane versus an aggressive lane. Because Jinx and Alistar can actually all in on Twitch and Braum on level 2. Since Jinx will have her Gatling gun and her rocket launcher and probably a slow or a snare.
It could depend on what the Jinx is going to get based on her skill set, of course.
And actually, since the new Alistar has been released, Alistar has seen a lot more play than the old Alistar. Because that stun, the stun he gets is actually really good because it counts as an auto attack. So you can actually have it reset. So actually that's quite everything we have to cover right now. The matchup I'd like to see here right now is actually in the jungle.
Yeah, but what we noticed last game was the fact how the red team had failed to get the red off of the enemy team. So we might be able to see if both teams would go for a defensive take on the jungle, or if one of them would either go offensively. If someone would try and take the other enemy's buff.
Sunod yung paano, pabalik sa, nag-commit mo na naman.
Soy.
I'm actually pretty excited
For
just to see this matchup, given the fact that there is an aggressive and defensive bot lane like we also saw last game.
And actually, just a fact that How to Basics was the last year's champion.
So we could see if How to Basic will still get that spot for the championship, or Uncrown will be able to get it this time.
So maybe a pause here for checking for checking for the settings. Okay, very good information.
We just got information.
So that's why they're uncrowned.
Game is paused, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe just to check a bunch of settings and stuff. I'd like to go over this top lane matchup now. So, as you can see, Doran's shield unriven. So, I think she's expecting to get harassed by Kled
Kled.
a lot. Especially since Kled has that, I think that's
The
his,
hook.
no, the second skill. The one that increases your attack speed and has a lot of damage. Maybe that's what she's expecting. For Kled to go in, harass her with that, then go out. So that maybe that's why for the defensive itemization.
That's why it's also good to have certain knowledge on having certain knowledge on most champs, so that you know that how they work and how you're going to be able to counter them.
So I don't know what's with the long pause yet. I'm 3% with my cell phone.
That's bad news. Spam Kappa in the chat, everybody.
It's nothing on volume. We need to turn it off.
Naka 1 na ba yan?
Yeah.
Fuck!
Okay.
Yeah, boy!
Ah! Nag-CR sila. Okay.
Sure ka?
Yeah, they talked about it. There, so we're resuming the game. So the players just got a bathroom break.
Sorry for the delay.
I want music in my thing. Let's lower the master volume. There.
And they are on their way. Things coming in from everyone.
Oh, I think they'll see each other here.
On Crown, going to go for that red buff. No?
Alistar wasn't seen there actually. Oh no, he was seen. Pings are coming in onto Alistar. They know Alistar's there. Face check from Lux, then the snare isn't gonna land. Now they know where each other are. Ooh, that hook will be big. But it doesn't connect. So actually Uncrown here on the run now.
On the run.
They
Wards
are
are coming
they're
in.
actually they're actually putting in some really aggressive wards. The whole blue side of Uncrowned is warded, so they know where Hecarim will rotate on.
Yeah. That's why they have what we call map awareness. Very smart of how to basically do that though. Pushing away the enemy team and just placing wards in the blue side of Uncrowned's part.
And because you have to be scared of that Sejuani and Lux hard CC. If Lux would have hit that snare on Alistar, I think that would have been first blood. So here, this is a good start for Sejuani for the red, knowing that Hecarim will start blue. Since Hecarim, if Sejuani started blue, Hecarim would have had a chance to
Take
steal
the red,
red.
yeah.
So with that, they will actually be equal on rotations.
And Lux getting that damage off on Annie.
And that's actually 2 out of 3 snares hit already. As you can see here at the top lane, really passive laning.
It's either both of them are just scared or they're just watching each other what they're going to do next. Because both of them don't really know their playstyle, whether it's aggressive or defensively.
Tropa, farm muna tayo, wag muna hit. Nangasabihan sa solo queue. So Lux is already level 2. She already has her burst.
I just
There,
know,
that's what I was talking about. See the damage from Kled? That's just from his auto attacks.
and he still hasn't removed his
Birdie.
Birdie, whatever the name of that
His dinosaur.
His bird.
Ayaw nga, no?
Sejuani coming in for the
It's
gang.
the Giovanni with the gank
Hopefully
onto
trying
Kled.
to remove
But that will
Scarlet.
be, Kled will be invincible during
Yeah,
that frame.
trying to take
But
it.
that will be
There's a
too
flash
much
down.
tank on
And
Sejuani.
Sejuani's not.
But that's
Hopefully.
that's actually a tower kill, so that won't
That was
count
okay.
as a first blood.
Any gold, that was good. That was okay, to be honest. Here we
That was
have-
actually an okay gank, but Sejuani actually... But actually Sejuani overextended her welcome on the tower. Look at that Lux damage. That's just from her E.
And whenever she lands a spell on Annie, take note that she can also auto attack to get more damage in.
Yeah, she can pop her passive. And most of the time, if she pops her passive, she pops Thunderlord's Decree too.
Thunderlord's Decree.
That'll be big damage. But look at that damage from Annie.
Here we come.
They're both almost at the brink of death, but they still backed off. Both of them are still scared of each other.
They're still very wary of what each
But
player
Exhaust
does.
was used by Lux. And we actually see her Hecarim rotating near towards mid. But I think Lux has an idea where Hecarim is. That's why she backed off a little. But Annie still has flash and stun. That's
Trying
a
to
big
get
snare,
the-
that's it. And I
and-
think this will be Annie going down.
That is a first blood for Lux and for team how to beat it.
This Lux actually hits skill shots really good.
She knows when to time it, and that's actually the good part.
And actually that's a big kill for Lux. Since if you snowball a Lux, she can actually deal tons of damage.
Especially from the early to mid game phase. She can do a lot of good ganks from the snowball that she gets.
As expected here in the bot lane, CS is not really going anywhere. Both of them are near each other.
And we have Kled here slowly building up on Scarl.
I like the thing about Scar is if he runs, Kled is like invulnerable for a few seconds.
Which gives him a little bit of...
He can have like a 1 second breather. So again, actually Kled is the one taking a lot of damage here. But again, with that Scar already, he actually has a lot more health
He has
now.
more presence in the top lane now that he has Scarl.
Oh, that's a
And
Hecarim gank. That was a
Hecarim-
nice Valor. That was a nice Valor. But here we have a Sejuani gank in the mid lane and
Trying
Ghost
to get
is
that
not yet
Annie
popped.
down.
Will she pop it? But no. She decided to save Ghost right there. But I think that was a smart idea.
Smart move.
Knowing that she's already gone. She didn't pop Ghost just to try and escape. But again, that kill went over to Lux. Again, Lux is a hyper carry.
Let's take note of the fact of how good that Valor that Riven did against that Hecarim.
Yeah, that
Run.
Valor actually, like, it cancelled out the CC of Hecarim.
Hecarim's knockback.
It knocked Riven back towards her tower, not towards Kled's tower.
Yeah.
And that will be all popped
Riven
out.
trying
And
to go in.
Kled is really low here, but Kled will be trying to escape with that Q and that knockback. That's a really nice skill right there. So that's Riven without her ult already.
She's gone. Going to
But
go back
again,
a while.
Kled needs to build up for Scar.
Hecarim is going to go down bot
In
lane.
Hecarim, this is a really nice rotation to Hecarim.
There's
Of
a
course,
teleport
teleport
coming
going
down
down
for
from
Riven.
Riven, but that will be Riven with no ult. Will she try to do any play here? She's trying to stun there. That will be a double stun and a knockup. Flash burned onto Hecarim, but there will be no kills. A lot of summoners burned right there though.
Lux is trying to chase down on the Annie. And
Oh,
here
that
comes Sejuani
was a
with
nice
flash.
dodge, but See that Lux damage? That was way too much. And that's a 3. That was a 2-0 Lux. Now she's a 3-0 Lux.
Now, the problem that there is when she gets shut down, the enemy, whoever gets that 500 gold, will get an advantage.
But I want to talk about that mini sidestep of Annie to touch out the charge flash of Sejuani.
Yeah.
That would have been really big if Annie had flash. She would have escaped that.
Then the blue is taken down from the blue side of Uncrown.
That blue buff on Lux will be really big. She can stay in lane longer.
And be able to harass more. Given the fact that blue does give you lesser cooldown.
Oh, Annie is still level 5. She could have turned around that kill if she was level 6. But again, that barrier of Lux, really, really thick shield. And the snare coming in, this might be a kill. That's a really nice ult by Sejuani. And that's Hecarim going down.
Phil going in for Sejuani.
Like I said, that Lux barrier, really thick, two times barrier. On the way in and on the way out. So again, Lux with that blue buff, really big. And something I'd like to point out with How to Basics Jungler. Since I played with him with Inflex, I noticed that instead of getting the kills, he usually lets his carries get the kills if he ganks.
That's what the thing about Annie trying to sidestep.
But that's really hard to sidestep. Lux's E. And so, sorry for the technical difficulties. We just increased the mic volume a little. So, actually, while we were fixing that, I'd like to go back to that Dragon Pit fight.
Yeah.
So, that Dragon Pit fight, actually, they got caught out in the middle of the Dragon Pit without escapes. But,
Sejuani was able to go
yeah,
down.
Sejuani was able to go out the Dragon Pit.
Lux also tried to escape, but sadly.
But Uncrowned was able to secure the dragon. Right now, dragons aren't that big on comeback potential, but it's an Infernal Drake, so that will actually help the carries deal out more damage.
Since the Infernal Drake does give out more offensive damage, that really helps them.
So, actually, I'd like to ponder on this Hecarim build. He has the flame thing.
Bami Cinder.
Yeah, they're Bami Cinder. So I think that he'd want to build tank rather than damage. So we're expecting a Hecarim in the front lines rather than assassinating people at the back lines.
Yeah, because I played as a jungler. I also play Hecarim, and the first thing that I usually get with Hecarim is I'd go for the warrior enhancement, and then other than that, all I just build are tank items alongside.
And that will be 3 people collapsing onto the bottom lane. Twitch is cut, but that will be a stun onto Alistar, but that will be cleansed out by his ult. Jinx trying to do as much damage as she can, but that will be that was a nice
sidestep.
Nice sidestep by Alistar. But in the top lane, Riven is really low right now. 3 man. I think this will be a trade on towers.
This will be a tower down in bot lane. And will this be a tower down in top lane? No, Annie goes back to the mid lane.
But that's Sejuani taking the tower aggro.
And they decide to...
And the flash snare by Lux taking two of them. Headbutt going in from Answer, trying to give this Lux out. And I was like, that Lux with her skill shots, really on point.
That Lux knows how to play. He knows what he's doing.
So like I said, that will be a trade-in tower and a trade-in kills actually. Riven was killed at the top lane and Alistar for the bottom lane and the tower.
So it was basically an even trade.
So I think they are gonna rotate over to a Rift Herald right now.
There are wars already put by Team Uncrowned on Rift Herald so that they do have map awareness. And they are trying to take out wards. Oh, she was trying to go for the combo and failed.
She was trying to go for a quick kill on Hecarim. So like what we said, I think they are gonna go for the Rift Herald now.
How to basic trying to go in for the Rift Herald
And that will be a double snare
That was
again.
a double
Big
hit.
damage coming from Lux.
Yeah.
But that will be Alistar getting caught out in the middle of everyone.
Didn't
That will be
try to
Alistar
escape
going
anymore.
down. A really good
There's an
flash
ult
ult onto
from
Annie.
Sejuani.
I think that will be Annie going down. It was trying to do its best to avenge its little master. And I think that's a Rift Herald now.
Take note that Hecarim does still have his flash and smite.
I think Hecarim won't be able to steal this anymore.
That is still depends on the risk of each player.
And Hecarim went back. This is actually the first time we've seen Rift Herald getting picked up by a team.
And look, how to basically also trying to go for the dragon.
They'll be trying to go to the dragon. And that's actually, Hecarim's doing a lot of damage. TP coming in from Kled. Oh, but they're pinched inside the dragon pit. And Alistar trying to peel out three people. Flash onto Annie, but Annie doesn't have the stun onto Twitch now. Twitch trying to get safe here, but Twitch is
Sejuani
going
trying
down.
to escape.
Sejuani trying
get
to
on
escape,
that
but Alistar is really low. Sejuani is really low. So back to the dragon pit, but that will be Annie instead. Now it's a 2v4. Riven is really low.
Trying to
Hecarim
run
trying
away.
to charge in there, but that's the
Focusing
stun
on
from Annie, and that's
Lux.
Lux going down. Double kill over to Kled. So only Riven is left now. I think they want this Riven.
Trying to get that Riven, or will Riven be able to successfully kill herself since there is a tower there? No?
No.
She tries to escape.
Oh, that's a really good Q jump. But that's Hecarim charging. That's really strong.
And the flash Q from Hecarim,
Hecarim
sealing down that Riven.
wanted that kill. So I think red team here will now get that really big Ocean Drake. Since Ocean Drake, the regeneration Ocean Drake gives can really sustain the players up.
Here we have a clash in Dragon Pit.
That will be 2v5. There's a really bad engage. But Alistar is low and TP is coming in from Riven. And
Switching
now
the back
everyone
line.
from Uncrowned is low. What a turnaround. And I think Riven will be the one to turn
Riven
this
trying
one
to shut him
around.
down on Kled.
And that's Hecarim going down over to Lux.
Oh!
They're split up. And Alistar and Jinx, will Riven be able to get the jump? But that will be no.
What was amazing, what I saw while that fight was happening, was before Lux was about to ult, Alistar had to move and try to take that bomb plant and escape from Lux's ult.
So that actually saved Alistar. That's a really good play by Alistar. So guys, we'll be fixing the stream because it's lagging a bit. So we'll stream the semis for lower brackets later. So bye.
When mosquitoes invade, tough moms act fast. Bygone odorless kills bugs tough moms no strong smell. Bygone fast enough for tough moms. SC Johnson. Bygone odorless kills bugs dead. No strong smell. Bygone
appreciate the sentiment, but I'm afraid it's nothing more than a daydream.
I hope that the rain will never stop.
Daydream.
Huh? What are they doing? Yeah, and so this will be the semifinals for the lower bracket. So it will be Hesayam versus Uncrowned. So right off the bat, we have a Zac ban and a Galio ban. So Galio ban, why is Galio banned? So from what we saw from the last games, Galio was actually a really huge impact for the team fights because of his ult, which gives 50% reduced damage to his target or to the teammates inside the circle and the knock up. Annie, of course, the damage she dealt from those 2 games, she was actually doing a ton of damage. Soraka to cancel out sustain lanes for the bottom lane. Twitch. So Twitch ban may be targeted to AARQ since he's actually a really good Twitch player. So and a Jarvan ban too. So maybe they banned it for Cookie 23 since he actually played a really strong Jarvan last game. So first pick for Hesayam. Oh, we'll see an Azir mid. No? Nah, that's gonna be a top lane Poppy. For sure. It's top lane Poppy, so we might see strong TP presence from her. Again with the Kled at the top lane against the Poppy. So Kled against Poppy. I haven't really seen the matchup yet. Well, my vote's going over to I haven't really saw a Kled and a Poppy fight at the top lane yet, since Poppy isn't really picked in my elo when I solo queue. Olaf Jungle taking Flash rather than Ghost. That's new. Olaf Jungle is quite strong. Basically, he has strong presence early to mid game and becomes a really great late game tank due to his ult. Oh yeah? There. So a Vive jungle for Hesayam. But that will be countered by if Vi misclicks Olaf for the ult, that'll be one wasted ult. And Orianna for the mid lane finally gets that Orianna. But that Orianna is against an Ahri, which is actually quite a bad matchup since Orianna is less mobile than Ahri. Ahri has a dash. So we'll see how that goes. And for the last ban phase, we have Lulu banned. Another high sustain support. Lucian also banned. Quite a lot of ADC bans right now. And who will be the last ban for Uncrowned? It's another ADC ban, a Vayne ban. Really interesting ban phase here. Katabi ko nga pala si Jean. Hi, Jean.
Hello.
Yes, I'm solo casting. Kasi nagteteken yung partner ko. And actually, as we see here, 4 ADC bans. So, what will our ADC pick here? Ashe and Saya? Personally, I play a lot of Saya, and against an Ashe, it's actually in favor of Saya, but we'll see how this goes. Since Saya can dodge Ashe's arrow quite easily with her ult, but we'll still see. Maybe this Ashe has some tricks up her sleeve. So what will be the last pick for our Uncrowned? Braum. Braum and Saya. That's actually a really good bottom lane synergy right there. Since Saya's W actually increases her attack speed, she can stack up that stun quite fast. Karma and Ashe saw mostly a poke lane. And Karma can actually deal a lot of damage too. So we'll see. What I want to highlight for this matchup will be the mid lane. Orianna versus Ahri. Yes, from what I've seen, Orianna and Ahri is quite an even matchup since they can burst each other down. But my vote goes for Ari just because of the mobility. And Oriana took Ghost and Flash just for that added defense and mobility. So we'll see where that goes. So just finalizing their picks here. Olaf and Vi, huh? For the jungle. Vi has quite a faster, in my opinion, faster clear speed than Olaf. If you don't maximize your tomahawks, your undertows. So we'll see where this goes. Again, Kled at the top lane. So we'll see what that Kled will do in the top lane. Karma opted to go for Ignite rather than Exhaust. Interesting, really interesting. Really, really interesting. Kasi in my opinion, an exhaust is really important for a Saya. Hi! So maybe they want to poke out Saya out of the lane, then kill secure her with that ignite.
Karma Oriana. Speed boost yun.
They're running Vi assassination straight to Saya. But Saya's ult.
Saya. This is Saya. Oh, Saya's ult.
Saya's ult to dodge Vi's ult.
Tama lang na vibe po nila kasi lakas mag-kite ng Saya ngayon. Sakit pa ng burst niya pag na-stacks niya yung quills.
The thing they need to do is bait out Saya ult first. Unless they want Vi to overcommit.
Mas maganda yung mga galing na support din kesa kay Brom.
Mm-mm.
Pero mas maganda yung disengage kay Brom.
And they need frontline. Medyo pangit na frontline kung all of Kled. Since Kled will act as an assassin. So we're just waiting for the spectator delay here. So again, like what I said, the Hesoyam is running a somewhat of a Vi assassination comp, opting to go for movement speed from Karma and Oriana if they will be able to take out the Ari or the Saya. Well, in my opinion, it would be really risky since Saya does have her ult, which if used correctly can shut down Vi's ult. Unless they target Ari, but Ari will be too slippery. She can reposition herself. We'll see where this goes. So 15 seconds before the stream delay. There. At least wala silang freeskins.com. Yun talaga yung nagpanalo. Yung ano. Sponsor. Huh. So, from what I saw from the loading screen, Ash took Fervor rather than the heal and movement speed. So she wants to go, I think, aggressive. So we'll see where this goes. Saya opting to go for the Warlord's Bloodlust. For that added survivability. Takes so long to load. Oh my gosh. Spectator. Yan. So, sorry about that. Spectator bugs. So, right off the bat, we see all lanes are actually quite equal. So, Oriana, like what I said, being immobile is actually a really easy target for Ari. So, Oriana already taking half of her. Ari already taking Oriana's health half down. So I think Saya would want to freeze the lane right here as exactly like that, because but by doing that they're opening themselves from ganks, and Karma and Ash are not that mobile. Karma has a speed boost, but I think that will be enough to cancel out a gank from Olaf, since he can slow you down quite a lot. And there's a gank here at the mid lane. That'll be Undertow going in. That will be a red buff flash burn for both mid laners. That'll be first blood coming over for Ari. That's a nice Undertow hit by Olaf. That's actually really good rotation from red buff towards mid lane. And actually that's both summoner spells burned for Oriana. She really needs to play safe now.
Can you keep up the item for PPH?
So the CS at the bottom lane is not that big of a difference. 7 CS difference, but knowing that Braum and but here comes a gank from. Oh, that was a nice flash by Kled. If he would have flashed sooner, he would have been caught by Vice Q. Vi already being quite active in ganking. So both mid laners don't have summoner spells anymore. I think I wanna ponder on that, since Oriana burned 2 of her summoner spells just trying to escape. I think it would have been better if she tried to ghost rather than ghost then flash, or flash then ghost. Since Undertow, Olaf says Undertow can keep on slowing you down. So there again, Ari trading in the mid lane. Can you see, compare the damage of Oriana and Ari right now. Even though Oriana has that barrier to keep herself healthy, the Ari Q burns through that barrier like it's nothing. No action happening here just yet. But we see actually Olaf is being spotted down by the bottom side. They know where Olaf is, and I think they want to rotate. Vi will find Olaf in her jungle, but there won't be any engage. Olaf really hurts in the first couple of levels, and that's Ari gonna take that kill from Oriana. But this may be a trade kill flash burn by Vi, trying to get that kill onto Ari, but she's way too slippery. That undertow is gonna help, and Olaf will secure that kill. 0-3 on the scoreboard right now. Kled is off his scar, so that won't be further engaged by Poppy. I want to talk about that gank at the mid lane. So that was actually a really good undertow management by Olaf. After the first undertow, he didn't really use undertow right off the bat. He wanted to wait the moment Vi was almost near Ari, so the undertow would be more helpful for Ari. And since Ari has her Q, she can be more slippery with that added movement speed. So Ari already 2-0 and Olaf 1-0. 7 minutes into the game and already 3 kills on the scoreboard. Both top laners still forming up very well. Kled already has his scar up again. I want to talk about Kled's ult. Kled's ult is actually a really good ganking tool since it gives mobility and that small CC if it targets an enemy unit. And I think 2 people will rotate over to top lane right here. Kled does not have any wards at that bush. It seems they don't want to gank top lane anymore. I think Kled felt it. Olaf trying to find a gank here onto bottom lane. Lucky he didn't get spotted by that Ashe scout. Ari being spotted here. That's a really nice engage by Poppy. It's a nice stun. Braum taking out some wards here, just the warding in the enemy jungle. Ari rotating at the bottom lane. This will be really huge. They have a pincer formation ready for bottom lane. But I think Oriana would want to rotate down to the bottom lane right now. Ari's getting ready to flank the bottom lane here. Saya and Braum just needs to push the wave in much further. Braum with the shield. Ari will... Oh, that's a really nice flash charm. A real nice snare by Saya. That'll be a stun and that'll be one... Oh, no, that'll be a double kill for Olaf. And here we have a skirmish in the top lane. Poppy getting that kill from Kled. So I want to talk about that gank at the bottom lane. That was a really nice flash. That was a charm flash by Ari. So that charm flash was point blank. So it can't miss. And the follow-up snare by Saya, that's a hard CC. So that's really good skill management by Uncrowned right there. And they take a dragon for that. And that top lane engage though. If you're against a Kled, the best way to engage him is when he's out of his dinosaur thingy. Since he's less mobile right there, even though his Q knocks him back, it can actually put him into a disadvantage against a Poppy. Since if you're close to a wall, the Poppy will surely stun you. So Ari going back to the mid lane right now. Already has the double Dorans up. Hi, Royd!
Hi.
What's your comment towards today's final game?
This is the final game for today, right? I can hear you speaking. It's weird.
That stun coming from Poppy. That's really big damage. But I think, that was a nice cancel of the charge. Charm hitting Oriana right here. That was... Why did Oriana ult there? I think she wanted to put Ari inside the tower range, but she was way off. So Ash and Saya looking over to the CS right now. Saya's taking the lead really far away from Ash. 69 to 83.
Hi, Panda. So how's it going, Jim?
It's fine. I like the games. So Braum is going really aggressive here. He's gonna miss the Q. That's a nice side step, but the root hits Ash. That'll be a TP coming in from Kled. Kled, will he be able to get it? Yes, but that'll be Poppy taking the kill of Saya. Ash going down to both ADCs are down. Vi is really low. Ari's gonna keep on auto time. Undertow secures the kill, and now Ari trying to burst down Karma. But that will be a stun coming in from Poppy. That was a really nice stun. Kled is now off his card. That will be less mobility. That will be. Oh, this Olaf is going insane right now. Undertow after Undertow. That will be a dive for Poppy. Exhaust is off. And that will be, I think Poppy will go down and the kill will go over to a Braum. And that was almost an ace. That's a really nice dive by Uncrowned. Really well organized. So I like to talk about that Olaf Undertow management right there. So Olaf undertowed 2 people first, and then 1 person, and then 2, and then 1 again. So it was actually really good since Undertow slow doesn't reduce for the champions they hit. It actually a really nice engage that he did. It was actually a really ballsy play too. And the root by Saya was really big too. They could Hesoyam could have capitalized on more on the Ashe ult, but taking down Saya was actually good too. They were able to cancel out a bit of damage, but Ari was there too. She was the one dealing most of the damage, and Olaf. So blue going over to Oriana, basic mid strats. So going over to the scoreboards right now, 3 kills over to Poppy. Yet she's still and she's building tank. So Poppy opting to go over being more tanky than being more damagey, rather than for being a frontliner for Team Hesoyam. Vi is not gonna use her ult onto Kled. Oh, and Olaf was there. If Vi would have used her ult, Olaf would have counter ganked Vi. So Olaf's rotating over to top lane, though he's having second thoughts about ganking the lane. I think he thinks it's warded. Better to be safe than sorry. Ari looking for a kill at the mid lane though. And this is Uncrowned taking the Rift Herald. That will be Ash Scout spotting them out. I think they want to contest this. That'll be Ash Aaron going in, but will not do anything actually. Oriana was way too squishy to be right there, and that will be Ari going to Oriana. Oriana trying to escape this, but that will be Oriana going down. No, that will be Oriana ult, and this might be a turnaround. No, that will be a 1-for-1 trade. Vi taking down Ari, and that will be Ragnarok being popped by Olaf here to escape that further CC from Vi and Poppy. Ash getting caught out here again. No one will be hit by that snare, but the stun comes in from Saya. Saya trying to auto down Ash right here. Speed buff from Karma, that will be enough to disengage this fight. And that's actually 2 ults burned by Uncrowned trying to catch this Ash. So Hesoya really needs to capitalize on that. Knowing that both bottom laners use their ult, they can use an engage right there. So I think the bottom lane will now recall. So going over the items of both ADCs, I see that Ash opted to go for a BF sword, then maybe a Zeal. Yep. And then Zaya with already the completed Essence Reaver. Essence Reaver is actually, in my opinion, one of the best items for Zaya. But I rarely build them. Since I don't really... I'm a BF sword kind of guy. Olaf will spot Oriana here. Doesn't know that she's alone. Undertow will hit and that may be a dead Oriana. No, that was a really good use of Blast Cone right there. Really good use of Blast Cone right there to escape the Olaf. But this will be the second dragon of the game. An Earth Dragon. Ash Arrow coming in, stuns Braum, but that won't be doing any damage. Vikyu coming in, Kled, right? Like what I said, already at the backline. Kled trying to do whatever it takes. Scar is going down. That will be Karma is already damaged. Ash going. No, Ash will be poking. That's a really big undertow right there. Sniped out Ash. That will be a 2-for-1 exchange. That's actually really good sniping by Olaf. So Rift Herald already used here to take down this bottom turret. In my opinion, this is one of the this is a good Rift Herald power play since they can take down one tower and take deal damage to the second tower. If not, take it down. Since there are 3 people here and only 2 people defending with Oriana already low on mana. Oh, that's Vi going in. Oh, they decided to back off. They just wanted to harass the tower a little bit. Ooh, this will be unengaged as teleport coming in from Kled. Ash in a really bad position here. Undertow is gonna get hit, but that won't be enough since Ragnarok is still on cooldown. Karma is still dealing damage with that R and Q. Does so much magic damage. Oh, but this will be Braum trying to take... Oh, that's a really nice Oriana taking down 3 people. Vi in the back lane now, trying to take down the carry. On her eyes for Olaf. Now Olaf going down that shutdown goal, going over to Vi. Ash trying her best to kite away this Kled. Kled able to take down that Ash, but Poppy is able to take down that Kled too. So that will be a 1-for-3 exchange in favor of Hesayam. Actually the Braum re-engage was actually really good, but the damage wasn't there. Olaf was already low, and he had Ragnarok pop late. So maybe if Olaf had Ragnarok the moment they engaged, the moment when Karma was trying to peel out Olaf for Ash, if he had Ragnarok then, he may have the fight would have been different. So that's a really good play by Hesayam. They're still in this game. So again, Ash Scout able to spot their dragon out. But I think they don't want, or rather they shouldn't fight this. Vi, I think she will try to steal it. Oh, but that will be Vi actually going in. That was really bad. Engaged, that will be Vi going down. Kill coming over to Braum right there. And actually Karma was taken down too by Kled. And Ash was taken down by Ari. A lot happened during that Baron Pit fight rather. I think Uncrowned has their eyes set on this mid lane right here. Oriana with that blue buff, will she be able to clear out this wave? Ari's also there too, so I think Oriana would have want to back off a little here. One charm could be her death. So right now, Uncrowned is making their territory the whole map. Wards all over the place. Wards at blue side's blue buff right there. So they know when it's up and when to counter jungle the Vi. So rotations are already Saya at the mid lane and everyone else at the top lane. And Poppy ult not catching any heroes right there. Stun coming in from Poppy to Kled. Kled's going really down. Viol onto Kled. That will be Orianna ult but dodged by Kled because of that Scar running. I like what I said from that old Kled game. That passive of Kled really comes in handy during situations like that. So the bottom laners of Hesayam are actually, I think, about to take one tower at the bottom lane. They're gonna trade it for a top lane tower. Oh no, Kled is there to defend it. And this top lane tower is really gonna go down. I think they shouldn't fight this since they just burned their ults. So Orianna just poking out. Braum though, engaging, and that was a really bad engage by Braum. Braum, will he be taken out here? That's a no. But that was a really ballsy play by Braum. So Ashe and Karma just able to almost destroy the bottom lane turret, but not yet. So looking over by the itemizations right now, haunting guys on Ari for that added magic penetration. So that's maybe towards a Leandris. Am I right? I'm not an AP mid laner, but I know that's Leandris. For that added burn, and that's Vi able to punch Kled. Such big damage. Undertow going, Ragnarok being popped. Now it's a really ballsy play by Olaf flashing out, but that would be flash onto Poppy. Poppy trying to chase this Olaf. Will this Olaf be able to start it? No, that's a Q by Poppy taking out Olaf. That's one big damage dealer killed for Uncrowned. They might want to disengage this right now since Olaf is their main tank and somewhat their damage dealer. They're warding here and there. So let's go over the items again. Olaf, Spirit Visage. So I think he opted to go for the Spirit Visage because of the added health. The health because of his W. Since he likes to go in aggressively inside the back lane of Hesayam, he really wants that life steal up. So that's maybe why he took Spirit Visage and Kled Black Cleaver already. Minus minus armor reduction. Really good. And Saya already has her Runaan's Hurricane. And most of the time when Zaya has her Runaan's Hurricane, she starts to become a threat. Because the attack speed Runaan's Hurricane gives it... Oh, this Karma being caught out of position right there. You shouldn't really push that far without wards at the enemy's deep jungle. Again, going back to that Saya with Runaan's Hurricane already, that's already the time where she power spikes. Since if you have Runaan's Hurricane on Zaya and you pop your W, it also pops your mini daggers. TP coming in from Poppy. Poppy TPing in onto 4 people. Orianna ult not catching everyone. Olaf already has his eyes onto that Orianna. Orianna able to run towards the tower. No, Undertow. And that's another Undertow taking down Orianna. That would be a 2-for-2 exchange. But I think they're not yet done here. They want this tower too. And that will be Ari going ham on Ashe. Poppy is still up. Olaf is really low, doesn't have any more Ragnarok, but they don't have enough CC. Ari is just way too powerful with that magic damage. Still doesn't have any damage on her. Look at the damage from that Ari Q. Just so much damage from that Ari Q. So I'd like to talk more on that engage. I really like highlighting this Olaf since the thing is he hasn't missed a critical undertow yet. His undertows are actually really on point, slowing key targets down so that he can charge them. He can just mow them down while he's in Ragnarok. And actually, Olaf is already 8 and 2 and already has that Deadman's. Deadman's with that slow, additional slow. Wow. So that's an Ocean Drake coming over for Uncrowned. Ocean Drakes are really powerful. I really like Ocean Drakes. So Vi queues out 3 people. Undertow misses, and that's what I was talking about. Undertow is really powerful. If it hits, Vi would have been caught out right there. Poppy really in a bad position here. Oh, that was a really nice ult by Kled. Oriana ult being used here. Kled going ham onto the 2 carries. That'll be flashed by Braum. That was really ballsy. Saya getting pushed back by Vi. That's Vi taking Vi going down. Oh my gosh, this Olaf is going ham on everyone, diving each turret. That'll be Poppy trying to get this kill to Ari, but Ari is just way too slippery. And that health when she casts a skill, I think that's 8 times, she regains health. Whoa! Oriana damage is starting to scaling too. But this Olaf, man, really aggressive plays by Olaf. Diving, doesn't care if you're under a turret. Once I set my eyes on you, you're dead. So what I want Hesoyam to do here is maybe try to group up and peel further carries since Olaf is just going ham on them. Maybe save the Vi ult for a re-engage rather than an engage. And let Poppy just use her ult on the Olaf when his Ragnarok is down. I remember that Ragnarok used to have a really weird bug for Poppy's ult. Like, even though he's Ragnarok and Poppy used her ult, he will still fly off since the game used to not consider it as a CC. And this will be an uncontested Baron, I think. But Hesoyam knows they're doing Baron, but they are way too clumped up. That will be Vi trying to get the steal, but that will be Vi going in onto Saya, but that will not be enough. That was a really ballsy play by Vi. She should really stay cautious right now. She should play passively first. Ash arrow going in, and that's what I was talking about. Ragnarok canceling out that Poppy ult. That would be Undertow missing the people they need to hit. That would be again this Olaf diving 3 people onto the turret. Who has the turret aggro? That would be Kled. Kled still alive, and look at the healthy uncrowned people. Q connecting over to Poppy. This will be the middle turret now. Maybe an inhibitor? Yes, that'll be an inhibitor 2-4 uncrowned. Man, Kled, Olaf, and Braum frontline is really good. Ari and Saya are just free to do whatever they want. What I was thinking there was maybe Vi wanted to outsmite, to challenge Olaf's smite for Baron, but she's actually out of range still, even though she used her Q. And that ult onto Saya was actually a really ballsy play. She would have survived if she would have just walked out. Because Oriana was there. Oriana could have used Shockwave to pull the members of Uncrowned away from Vi. But when Vi used her ult, she was already inside the team's death zone. So maybe Vi was trying to steal Baron right there. So let's see what Uncrowned's Baron power play right here is. Q connecting over to Ash as a really priority target. Vi getting caught out of position here. Flash out. That will be 2 stacks, 3 stacks. That will be a dead Vi. Kled getting that kill. And again, this Olaf with that slow and that Ragnarok Undertow getting hit by that ADC. Poppy trying her best to take down the backline, but it's Poppy going really low right here. Saya's just kiting her away. Ari with that really big burst damage from her ult and her Q. And that's not yet an ace for Uncrowned, but that will be Hesayam getting really low right here and almost wiped out. And I think this will be a turret or two. That's a really good Baron power play by Uncrowned. And it's actually Braum hitting that Q onto Ari started it all. And I think this will be the game. I guess we'll... No, not yet. I think they still want to fight right here. But the death timers are so long. And that would be Uncrowned taking the place for the finals. And it will be How to Basics versus Uncrowned for the finals. It will be a rematch. So let's. I'd like to talk about the graphs again. So let's go to the graphs. Let's see how much damage Olaf dealt. Olaf didn't actually do the most damage. Ari actually did the most damage. But the way you see it, Olaf was the one diving and diving. He was just way too tanky for Hesayam to handle. Sure, they had CC, but they actually burned their CC while Ragnarok was active. Maybe if they waited for Ragnarok to burn out, maybe they would have turned the tides of battle. But still, that's a good game for both our teams. So that will be the last game that we will stream for today for League of Legends. So I've been JM Camacho. I've been your caster for today. And my co-caster who's playing Tekken, Andre Miguel Magallanes. There. So we'd like to thank you all for watching and have fun and thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Johan, balik ka daw, Johan.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself. So it doesn't matter if I'm there or not, right?
You were just afraid they'd abandon you. So you abandoned them. You distanced yourself from the whole